Good morning, students. Uh, Today we will start the revision of 8th standard. So you already learn the 8th standard. Some important topics are there which are related to 9th standard. So we have to revise some important topic in 8th standard today. So you already know that in 8th standard the different topics are there. Some topics are related to algebra and some topics are related to geometry. Up to 8th standard, only one book is there for maths. Now in 9th standard, the maths is divided in two parts. The first part, that is called as algebra or maths 1, and the second part, which is called as maths 2, or it is also called as geometry. So in maths, some topics are in algebra and some topics are in geometry. Now in 8th standard, the first topic is rational and irrational number. It is related to algebra. And the second topic, that is parallel lines and transversal. This topic is related to geometry. Okay. Similarly, only I will explain today that topics related to geometry and which is also related to 9th standard. Okay. So the first topics is parallel lines and transversal. Today we will discuss the parallel lines and transversals in short. So in parallel lines, we already know that the definition of parallel lines. In a single plane, if two lines are not intersecting each other, then these two lines said to be parallel lines. Okay. In a same plane, if two lines are not intersecting each other, then these lines are called as parallel lines. And in same plane, if two lines are intersecting each other, then they are called as intersecting lines. Means two types of lines are there. One is parallel lines and other is intersecting lines. And when we consider two lines, they must be in a single plane, same plane. Then and then only you can say that they are parallel or intersecting. So first, the properties of parallel lines. What are the properties of parallel lines? And when two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then what happens? How many angles form there? And what is the properties of that angles? We will study now. Okay, in short, we already studied in previous class also. So only we have to revise today these properties. See, in this chapter, when two lines and one transversal is there, the total angle forms are 8. Here we shown that angles. See here, two lines are there and one transversal is there. So in this case, total 8 angles are formed. That is P, Q, R, S, W, X, Y, Z. Means total 8 angles are formed. Either the given lines are parallel or not. Even though they are not parallel, if one transversal is intersecting these two lines, then also there are 8 angles are there. 8 angle formed there. Okay. But in case of parallel line, the 8 angle forms having some properties. If the lines are parallel, then and then only. Okay. Now if the given lines are parallel to each other and one transversal is intersecting these lines, then the form angles, means 8 angles are formed and they are having some properties. Now what are the properties? See, we already know that the corresponding angles, alternate angles, opposite angles, interior angles. Okay. So what are the properties of these angles if the lines are parallel? Okay, see here in this case, in this figure, see, P and W, these two angles are corresponding angles if these two lines are parallel, and QX are corresponding angles, then RY are corresponding angles, SZ is also corresponding angles. Okay, so the P and R are opposite angles, Q and S are opposite angles, W and Y are opposite angles, X and Z is also opposite angles. These are the opposite angles. Okay, now what are the interior angles? See, the angles formed by this transversal to intersecting these two lines, that is R and X. These two angles are said to be interior angles. S and W is said to be interior angles. Okay, now again the properties of these angles. Okay, means what are the properties of corresponding angles, what are the properties of opposite angles, what are the properties of interior angles, what are the properties of alternate angles. S and X, these two are said to be alternate. R and W is said to be alternate angle. Okay, means when two lines intersecting by one transversal, then the pair of four pair of corresponding angles are formed, then four pair of opposite angles are formed, then two pair of alternate angles are formed, and two pair of interior angles are formed. Okay, so now we will discuss the properties of these angles. Okay, so what are the properties of the given angles? Now here, see, the property of corresponding angles. What is the property of corresponding angles? Okay, see here, each pair of corresponding angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal is of congruent angles. Means when two parallel lines are intersecting by a transversal, the pair of corresponding angles formed are always congruent. Means in case of the previous figure, here, see here, P and W, this pair is corresponding angle pair. So angle P is congruent to angle W, angle Q is congruent to angle X, angle R is congruent to angle Y, angle S is congruent to angle Z. Okay, these angles are said to be corresponding, and if the parallel lines are there, then these corresponding angles are always congruent. The pair is congruent to each other. This is the property. Okay, this is first property, corresponding angle property. What is the property? When two parallel lines are intersected by one transversal, then corresponding angles, the pair of corresponding angles formed are always congruent to each other. This is the first property. Now what is second property? Here, this property of alternate angles. Now what is alternate angles? We already know that. Okay, we explained. Each pair of alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal is of congruent angles. Means when two parallel lines and one transversal is there, then the pair of alternate angle formed by these two parallel lines are always congruent. Okay, the pair of alternate angle is also congruent. Okay, this is second property. Means a pair of corresponding angles are congruent and a pair of alternate angles are also congruent to each other. Now which angles are congruent. See here alternate angle s and x, these two are alternate angles. So s is equal to x and r is equal to w. These are said to be alternate angles. Okay, means s, the measure of s is equal to the measure of x and the measure of r is equal to the measure of w. Okay, this is the property when two lines are parallel. See, condition is the given two lines are parallel and one transversal is there, then and then only they are congruent to each other. This is second property. Now come to the third property, property of interior angles. Now what is the property? Each pair of interior angle formed by two parallel lines and their transversal is of supplementary angles. Means when one transversal is intersecting two parallel lines, then the interior angle formed by the transversal are always supplementary to each other. Okay, this is the property. Each pair of interior angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal is of supplementary angles. Okay, now see here in this figure, which are the interior angles? R and X is interior angle pair, S and W is interior angle pair. So R plus X is equal to 180. सप्लीमेंट्री मीन्स क्या है? दोनों का एडिशन कितना होना चाहिए? 180 होना चाहिए. ओके, मीन्स एंगल R प्लस एंगल X इज इक्वल टू 180 एंड सिमिलरली एंगल S plus angle W is equal to 180. Okay, this is the property. Means the interior angle formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are always supplementary to each other. Means their addition is always 180. You get it? This is the third property. Right? Means first property is that corresponding angle property. Second property is alternate angle property, and third property is interior angle property. Interior angle property. Okay, so these are the three properties which is related to the parallel lines, angle made by parallel lines. Okay, see, first property alternate angle property that is corresponding angle property and property of interior angle. Okay, these three properties are there. So you have to remember these three properties. Now we already learned that theorems related to that properties, alternate angle theorem, then corresponding angle theorem, their interior angle theorem, that the two methods are there. Direct you can prove the theorem directly, or you can prove the theorem indirectly also, and we learn all these things in that. Okay, so now the second topic. See, the first topic there related to geometry we already know, that is parallel lines and transversal. Now here second, that eighth chapter is quadrilateral. It is related to geometry, and all the other chapters are related to algebra. So here quadrilateral is related to geometry. Now in 8th standard we know that what is a quadrilateral and how to construct the different types of quadrilaterals. Okay, so I will explain in short all the things related to quadrilaterals here. Now quadrilateral, and in 8th standard only we learn how to construct the quadrilateral when different parts are given, that is sides are given, diagonals are given. Okay, then how to construct the quadrilaterals. First of all, what is quadrilateral? It is a geometric figure which has 4 sides and 4 angles. Okay, so this is a quadrilateral. Now there are different types of quadrilateral. In 9th standard also we we have one chapter that is quadrilateral. In that we explain all the quadrilaterals, okay, details. Now only I will revise in short what is quadrilateral and what are the types of quadrilateral, and then we will know how to construct the given quadrilaterals. Okay, so uh, different types of quadrilaterals are there. In quadrilateral, the first type is that is called as a square, and second is called as parallelogram, then rectangle, then trapezium. These are different types of quadrilaterals. They having the different properties, so according to their properties we can define and we can uh, make a types of quadrilaterals. Okay, so square, rectangle, parallelogram, then a trapezium, okay, rhombus. These are the different types of quadrilateral. Okay, we will learn the details in ninth standard. Only you remember that there are many types of quadrilaterals, and the names of different types of quadrilaterals are square, rectangle, parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium, kite. All these are the quadrilaterals. Okay, so we learn the properties of quadrilateral in ninth standard. So here in 8th standard only we learn the construction of quadrilateral. How to construct the quadrilateral? I only explain the properties of quadrilateral somewhat, and afterward we will go to the next lecture, because the construction we already learn how to construct the quadrilateral when different parts are given. Okay, here the construction of quadrilateral when three sides are given and one diagonal is given, or when base is given one side and two diagonals are given, how to construct the quadrilateral we already learn in 8th standard. Okay, now after that see the some properties are there having different quadrilaterals. I will explain in short that properties. Square, the first property is square. Now what is square? When all sides are equal and each angle is 90, then that quadrilateral is said to be square. Okay, in short it is said to be square. Second, what is rectangle? When opposite sides are congruent and each angle is 90, then it is said to be rectangle. Okay, different properties are there again, but only the general property I will explain you. The third is rhombus. Now what is rhombus? All sides are equal, but it is not necessary all angles are 90. Okay, in square all sides are equal, but each angle is 90. Here in rhombus all sides are equal, but it is not necessary the all angles are congruent, so it is called as rhombus. Okay, now parallelogram. Now what is parallelogram? Opposite sides are congruent and parallel to each other. Opposite sides are congruent and parallel to each other, then it is called as parallelogram, right? The rectangle also we called as it a parallelogram, but every rectangle is also parallelogram, but not every parallelogram is not a rectangle, because in rectangle each angle is having 90-degree measure. So in parallelogram it is not necessary that each angle is 90, but it is required that the opposite sides are congruent to each other and they are parallel to each other, then it is said to be parallelogram. Okay, so you all get it. So again in short I will explain some topics related to 8th standard, and these topics are in second sem, congruence of triangle is there, area, then surface area and volume, these chapters are there, and circle. Okay, in next lecture we will revise all these other chapters, area, congruence of triangle, surface area and volume, and circle. Now today I will explain in short the triangles, okay, and the congruence of triangles. Okay, there are different types of test of congruence of triangle. So first, the chapter in second same, that is congruence of triangle. Okay, so congruence of triangle. Congruence of triangle. Okay, if two triangles are said to be congruent, when we said two triangles are congruent, if all sides of a first triangles are congruent to corresponding all sides of a second triangle, then these two triangles said to be congruent triangle. Okay, and other tests also there. The corresponding sides, then two side and including one angle, then that is called as SAS test, SSS test, SAS test. Okay, then SSS test, SAS test, ASA test is there. Okay, AAS test is there. Then hyposide test are also there. Okay, now what are these tests? First is called as SSS test. Now what is SSS test? If three sides of first triangles are congruent to corresponding three sides of second triangle, then these two triangles said to be congruent triangle. Okay, and this test is called as SSS test. Yes, side test. Okay, this is first test. Now second test is SAS test, side angle side test. It means two side and angle in between these two sides is congruent to corresponding two side, and angle in between that side is congruent to each other, then these two triangles are also said to be congruent, and the test is said to be SAS test. Okay, this is second test, SAS test. Now third test is there to say the congruent triangles, that is two angles and their including side, ASA test. Any two angles and the side including these two angles is also congruent to corresponding two angles, and the side including that angles is congruent to each other, then also these two triangles said to be congruent by ASA test. ASA test, angle side angle test, angle side angle test. Okay, and the fourth one is AAS, angle side. Okay, any two angles and one side is congruent to corresponding two angles and a side, then also these two triangles said to be congruent triangles. And the last one is fifth one, hyposide test. Means this is only applicable for the right angle triangles. In any right angle triangles, any one side and hypo is congruent to corresponding side and hypo, then these two triangles said to be congruent by the test hyposide test. Hyposide test. Okay, so to show the two triangles congruent, we can use these five tests, and by using these five tests we can show the two triangles are congruent or not. Okay, so in this way we completed that three chapters revision in short. Okay, and if you want to details of these chapters, you can refer the standard 8th book. You have the 8th book also, so you can refer once, and any problem is there, any doubt is there, you can ask me. So I will give you the assignment on this 3 chapters. Okay, you have to read these chapters again and revise these chapters. I will give the assignment. You have to solve that assignment questions and send to me as a confirmation done. Okay, so we will stop here now, and in next lecture we will continue the revision of next chapters. Okay, these chapters are, we already know that chapters. Today we completed parallel lines and transversal, then quadrilateral, and third is congruence of triangles. Now in next lecture we will revise area, surface area and volume, and circle, these 3 chapters. Okay, the 6 chapters are related to geometry, and we will revise these 6 chapters first, and then we start the actual 9th syllabus in geometry. Okay, you have to refer the book, 8th book, and revise now. And from 1st July we will continue the online lectures. On that lecture we will start the actual 9th standard portion. Now only the revision is there up to 30th June, and from 1st July we will start the actual syllabus. Okay, in 9th standard. Okay, now thank you.